Hello, my name is Robert Dean Steele. Today we're talking about failure. That's right, failure. And actually what can happen in the positive when it comes to failure. And we're going to use the acronym failure. So first of all, when you have a failure, the first thing you're going to do is fall. You are not going to, of course, be able to make it. And there are some things that will happen. The first thing that you'll have to do is acknowledge that you don't know everything, that you have to have help from time to time. But you have to understand when you have a failure, you also, of course, investigate. You say, okay, why did I fail? Why did I fall? Why did this happen? So you investigate it. You check out the pros and the cons. You look at it with, brand new eyes and a brand new way of looking at it. You see, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting, of course, a different result. Then you learn, and that's so very important. You say to yourself, okay, I failed. I acknowledge that this happened. I've investigated. So I want to learn why I had this failure. For example, it was Thomas Edison who actually took almost 10,000 attempts before he finally got or perfected the light bulb. Failure can happen, and you need to understand why it happened. You need to look at it and say, okay, here's the facts. This happened. Now I need to understand why it happened. Then, of course, you realign. You say, okay, I failed. I fell. I acknowledge what have happened. I've investigated. I've learned from it. I'm understanding that something better can come out of this. Then you make your realignment and you say, okay, now let's try this thing again. And then you evolve. And when you evolve, basically you've adapted to a new reality. There's a Japanese proverb that says, you fall down 7 times and you get up 8. We all have failures in our lives. We all have bad things that happen to our lives, but we need to get up again. We fall. We've acknowledged that this has happened. We've investigated and have made certain, steps to make sure that it doesn't happen again. We've learned from it. We understand why it happened. We've realigned our lives and we've evolved and we've adapted so that we won't fail again. We've grown from the situation. We know that failure is a stepping stone towards success, and it's also part of success. If you don't fail, you don't learn. And if you don't learn, you don't grow. So it's important to understand that failure is a part of life. But when we fail, we can also, of course, acknowledge what's happening, investigate it, learn, understand, realign, and then evolve and grow from the situation. It was, of course, James who said, grow in the grace and knowledge of the Lord Jesus Christ. So let's do that today.